let's move into the education in the age of AI. So, Joseph, based on your experience in doing events, right, and given that you're a current present student in SP doing computer engineering, right, can you share some insights on how AI can personalize learning, close gaps, and redefine skill-based education?
Yeah, so I think one thing that how students are able to use AI to for their curriculum as well is because teachers are not robots, to be honest,
Yes, they are not.
and we can't ask them 24/7, especially at night when they're with their family or something. So what we can
Or
do,
sleeping.
or sleeping, yeah, okay, people need to sleep, yeah. So what we can do instead of like asking the teacher, we could actually ask the AI to help and give us some ideas, inspiration, and some links, to relevant documents that what you have searched for as well. And in addition to that, you can also learn, and or even sometimes, what I do, I actually ask AI to give me some questions based on the textbook, and then set the persona as the teacher or professor, and then give me the questions of like the structured paper. So I'll throw them the structured paper questions, and they'll help me to do the whole entire structured paper question and give me more questions as well.
Looks like you've done this before, given how detailed this
Oh
explanation
yes, of
is.
course. It really works, for some reason. I don't know why. It really understands the structure immediately.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not promoting any particular tool, but the tool that came to my head first when he mentioned all this was this Notebook LM by Google. Really effective tool.
Yeah.
Not promoting it though, but a really effective tool. I'm also using it because I'm studying A level content for university right now. So I am using that tool to summarize long, so many pages of notes into just a few points and the key formulae and everything, so that I can just do a crash course kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah. It really helps you with your efficiency as well, and it helps you to learn faster,
Mm.
smarter, as well as of course, allowing you to score better grades at the
Yeah,
end of the day. Yeah.
work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Jen. So Jen, um, let's discuss how youth can adapt to AI-driven learning tools. I'm aware that we discussed something similar in our last episode, but the topic's a little different here. So, what's your opinion?
Okay, so I think this one is really coming from the university perspective because I mentioned I spoke to the professors just yesterday and they have lots of comments. So I think in terms of the AI tools, there is a lot of help that the AI tools provides to the students in terms of summarizing the content, as you mentioned. Also in terms of like providing the engagement, right? Like, as you said, 24 hours, um, always able, always available, always understandable. Professors may not be able to understand the student mindset. And this was actually our conversation with the learning department in NUS, because the head professor over there, he was saying that sometimes the professors are thinking too intellectually. They are only catering their lectures to the top 1% of the student population. And the teaching department in NUS is there to remind the professors that
You
you
have the rest
have
of the ninety
you
nine
you
percent of the
have
student population.
yes, the rest of the student population can't keep up. Why? Unfortunately, AI technology such as YouTube algorithm, social media feed has shortened the attention span that most of us in the general public possess. And yes, that is actually very bad if you're thinking in terms of like staying, having your attention focused on actual course
the
curriculum.
the old school method of studying back when I was in primary secondary school, right, was you sat down for 3 quarters of a day, just sat down and studied and then got back up. And usually stuff like I think at least 3 or 4 subjects worth of studying into that amount of time. So that's the old school way of studying. It's definitely not how we're doing it now with all the tools available and everything.
So I think that so it's a mixed bag. AI technology is very helpful, yes, but over reliance on AI technology to to do your homework for you, to complete your computer science projects.
The magic word here is laziness. Do not become too lazy to do your own work.
Yeah.
As I mentioned and emphasized time and time again, 4 times, and I think this is the fifth time, tools are tools. Use your natural neural network to think and study and absorb information, because your brain, our brains are the ones that created the artificial intelligence. You see how it's artificial? So let it remain as tools.
So one thing you might be aware of, if you want to go to university, is that students can get expelled for plagiarism, and using the AI to do homework is considered plagiarism.
That's common knowledge.
Yes, and you might think that, oh, you did such a great prompt that the professors can't detect that it was AI generated.
They have their counter
they,
checks.
they, they have their ways to do
They have their counter
to
checks for
sniff
it.
out
Yeah.
all this. In fact, if they really want to, they'll interview you and say, what was the thought process going in to write this whole project? Okay, you're not going to run away from that.
That sounds like an interrogation. All right, cool. Challenges faced by schools in implementing AI literacy, which is what I think Joseph has been doing a lot of, putting in a lot of effort to make it easier for schools to implement AI literacy. Teacher readiness, as you've mentioned, curriculum changes, and digital divide. Any opinions on this?
Okay, so AI implementation in schools. I would say that.
I mean, because like, sorry for, I just want to say, before GPT and all came out, right? The maximum tech implementation, so-called tech implementation, they had in my secondary school was iPads, right? So we just use iPads for some end of the day lesson where it was a form teacher period, right? Then we use the iPads in groups, and then we have some fun before assembly or before it's after school activities, right? But that has definitely changed now, because during lessons itself, I know plenty of teachers who discuss and share AI tools to make our lives easier during the lessons itself. You were saying?
Okay, so I think the technology innovation that is afforded to lesson plan, curriculum planning, content for curriculums, it's a whole new world, because like the things that would get students to read, right, which is a lot of slides with a lot of points, right, that no longer work in today's world. The Even the professors, the lecturers, they have to adapt to this new mode of education. I hope it doesn't go completely to the one side, but now it's considered uh, education has to be entertaining as well. It's called edutainment. Educate, wait, edutainment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you said. Edutainment.
so,
Edutainment.
so
That's an interesting. Who coined this phrase? This word?
I have no idea. But
Whoever coined it.
so
Quite
the
nice.
design of the course content, the design of the lessons, including the slides, the visual slides, and everything, it has to actually be something that captures the not just the attention but the imagination and the the learning process, right, the knowledge process that goes into a student's mind, and then get them to really retain
Think,
the
think,
think
and
and
retain.
retain the knowledge. Okay, so yeah, these days, right, student feedback is just as important as, like, the students have to grade the professors just as much as the professors grade the students.
That's fun.
so so it's you never thought this way. Last time teaching was just top down, right? Like, whatever the teacher says, you are going to memorize it.
Teacher's word is God's word.
But now, no, it is a two-way interaction. If you're not learning from the professor, then the students have like, oh, what if I learn better from the YouTube videos, and then, like, yeah, that's kind of bad because for the professor, because it's not he's not achieving his lesson outcomes. So we have gone to an extent where AI technology has made or is able to make learning much more interactive, much more fun, engaging, and ultimately achieve a much more, how would I put it, much more.
I think I can think of a phrase. I think of phrasing as a much more robust learning environment.
Yes. Or if I put it in terms of efficiency and because I'm a computer scientist, it allows us to download more information into your brains.
True. All right, let's go to Joseph.
Yeah, so I think like just now what similarly to what he shares, like um nowadays, or when you shared that teachers are using technologies. I mean, to be honest, like back then, 5 years ago there was no in Singapore there's something called personal learning device nowadays in secondary school. Uh but the time 5 years ago there wasn't any. It was just basically like he said, taking out only special time where you get to use the iPad. But now
Just at the end of the day, just
yeah.
to make you feel good.
Yes, correct. Other than that, that's all. But nowadays, like almost every lesson that you go to, either if it's math, English, science, or whatsoever, you will confirm use a laptop or basically a device, to do your learning. As well as teacher, I actually encouraging nowadays to use the technology, so that back to it, that you're also able to use it better, as well as as well as using of course AI, with AI, to learn it efficiently, end of the day as well. So in addition to that, yes, there's a lot of backlash to certain things. For example, the how AI could actually do the work for you. But however, we need it to be a tool for us, not a work for us. Yes. So end of the day, what we should do is to actually do it properly. Do our due diligence to actually write it. Do it well. Not always rely on it, because in an exam, who's
Use
gonna?
it responsibly.
Yeah. In exam, the AI cannot take an exam for you. Yeah. Oh, can? You can? Wait, what?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying
Oh,
anything.
yeah?
I didn't say anything. Hey, I didn't say anything.
Oh no. Yeah, so actually, to be honest, when I was given a sharing about in June, someone asked me a similar question. A student asked me a similar question in Malaysia. He asked me, he or she actually asked me, what happens if they use AI on the day-to-day project? All right, project, not assignment itself, project. So because sometimes, for example, in coding, yes, you have project, but sometimes you're able to twist the idea to make it is your pure code. Yeah, to just change some uh, dictionary and stuff like that to actually make it your own code, and somehow it doesn't really catch. Yeah, so this is very interesting because yes, we talk a lot about how teacher responsibility, student responsibility, but one thing that's yet to become detected is the projects at the time. Yeah, because actually AI has everything. Whatever you put in the AI, you reflect into others' computers as well. Yeah, something scary, but it's okay. That's why we have governance in place very soon. That's right.
That's an interesting take on it. Thanks, Joseph. Interesting.
Before we move on, I want to add. Okay, so I also want to add, right? I've known a student in the other Singapore university, the National Technology University, NTU. So what she do, came from the arts faculty actually, and she used AI technology to teach herself C sharp programming for Unity engine. So from complete her final year project, completely come in without a background in programming, taught herself vibe coding, and completed an entire game development final year project with proper game mechanics and RPG, 3D modeling environment, right? Completed the whole thing using the help of ChatGPT. Now that is the advancement in AI technology that has uh, applied to education.
Thanks for such a unique example, Jen. Never heard of this one before. All right, cool. Uh, Lots of interesting experiences, both of you. uh, what I use ChatGPT in a very unique way for work, right? When I'm working on a major project, as I am now, and I have a problem, which I know all the concepts and rules and formulae and algorithms about, right? Like computer vision, I know what model to use, the data engineering process, the pipeline process, and everything. But then if there's a problem that I just don't get why this metric accuracy is like so low or so high when I expect it not to be, and my expectation was like taught by the professors as this is the right expectation to have when you're doing it this way, right? One thing I realized is that if I input the problem, type it out clearly to ChatGPT, it's able to diagnose the issue and give us several possibilities for us to fix the problem on our own. And I find that incredibly helpful simply because of the efficiency. I don't need to rack my brain overnight so many hours to figure out what the issue is. When GPT churns out the possible problems or what got stuck here, what could have gone right, or whatever, it narrows it down into options, right? I can then cancel off whichever options have been solved or settled previously, and it helps me get down to, oh, damn, this is the issue. Let's solve it. And then it makes my life a lot easier. So it's not about producing code, which GPT can produce code, but I don't do it that way because I'm pretty confident in my own coding ability. I use it to save time from brain racking, because instead of making your brain rack for a problem, if you be smart about how to use the tool, you can save time and let your brain focus on the next phase of the project, for example. The breakthrough part where you're stuck. Yeah, GPT could help. It doesn't solve it for you. No, it doesn't help it solve it for you. You solve it on your own, but which aspect is it that you need to solve will take a while for you to figure out, and that's where ChatGPT has helped me before. It's one angle of using the tool. Yeah. So that's one bit I wanted to share.